What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Junior the Big Dog, your favorite father and son duo covering Miami Hurricanes football and sports. Before we even kick it off, man, Mr. Brian Jones.
Awesome,
Before
Brian.
we even go live, man, Brian Jones donated $20 to the Junior and the Big Dog family, man. Thank you so much, Brian. Not just for your donation, but for tuning in, man. For tuning in. Thank you for getting it popping early, baby.
And
Getting it popping early.
he said he loves the show, and thank you so much, Brian, for the support and all you guys. Anthony Torrance, Kane in the Desert, Austin Kane, all you guys in here with us already. Thank you guys for joining us. And as always, if you're new, which I know many of you are not, Taz, what do you say, Johnny Utah? If you're new, please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and press all. And always, everybody, please hit the like button. It really does help us with the YouTube algorithm. And also comment. I actually have to get on the comments from the last show. I haven't really got on the comments section, but we always try to answer 100% of the comments. So I have to. I switch some things on my phone, and they're not popping up for me. So I got to fix that. And that way I can.
That's what Apple does to you, man. That's what iPhones do.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Apple, if it was the last update that they sent out, but
what Apple does with those updates, man.
Yeah,
if you don't upgrade your phones every once in a while, and you upgrade those iOSs every single time they come out, they'll do it to you.
Yeah,
they'll do it to you.
They will, but I got to fix that. But anyways, we always try to get back to 100% of the comments that you comment to us, and always also please share and retweet. Some more shout outs here.
Hey, very quick. Que hola HJS. He says, Neno, que hola Neno. He says, shout out Neno for me. Dímelo, Neno.
What's up, Neno?
What's going on? Origin Green Blood.
Hey, Cohen.
This
is for you. It's all about the you, Cohen.
Yes, sir.
DeMonte, Stacy, Mr. HD, Demetrius, DC. Hold on. I don't know what the heck is going on. DC brother Jay. Oh, is that Jay in the family base? Jay, you good?
It says, but I'm okay. So yeah, I'm guessing it's in. What's going? He said. He said it. He says, got hurt at work being a firefighter, but I'm okay. Use up, man. Hey, God. Jay, on the last live chat, man. I believe it was Orange and Green Blood is the one that let us know about it, man. We had no idea, man. So we sent out some prayers for you, man. That you made a speedy recovery. I'm not sure exactly what happened, man, but I'm glad that you're in here and glad to know you're okay, man.
Yeah, you were in our thoughts and our prayers, Jay, and so glad to see that you're recovering. And as always, man, what you guys do as first responders, it's when everybody's running away from disasters, you're running towards them. And if it wasn't for people like you, Lord knows how many lives would have been lost. Just throughout everyday life. And
I should have put on my I didn't know you were gonna be in here, Jay. I would have put on my thin red line hat that I got on the American flag, man. Because it is what you guys do, man. You guys risk your lives, for the greater good for us civilians and us. I mean, you guys are civilians as well, but you know what I mean. Like us, just regular people, man. That it's crazy, man. The police officers, military, man. I mean, the Big Dog are very huge supporters of what you guys do for all of us, man. So thank you for that, man.
Thank you. I'm so glad to hear that you're on the mend.
So what's good, Canes fam?
Got CB, Slim P, Saeed, Captain Trips, Concrete, Sigmund, Roddy, Kane for Life, Ibis, Baytu Perry. What do you say, Baytu Perry? Jared Watts. And I think got most of the roll call there. Yeah. Obviously getting excited, guys. Spring practice, although it got pushed back. The start of spring practice got pushed back. I was actually looking forward to it. It was supposed to start on Saturday already, but it just got pushed back a few days back to March the 2nd, which is next. Now, with February having 29 days, it has to be screwed up. So that would be Monday. They get pushed back to Monday?
Yeah.
I believe so. And then we also know that the spring game will be at Traz Paul on April 11th at the Mecca.
Big Dog, are you coming?
I'm going to do my best,
Big
man.
dog. Come on, man.
I wish it would have been the previous week because spring break here is up to April 5th. And that would have made it easier. That's what I was checking as soon as you said that. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe I can make it down for spring. And I'd love to see you guys out there too if I am able to make it down for spring.
Hopefully the big dog makes it down here. Regardless, I will be going. Sorry, big dog, with or without you, I will be going to the spring game.
I count on that. I want all the scouting reports, and I want all the videos.
I know it. I was there last year for the first scrimmage, and yeah, me and the big dog were like texting back and forth. I actually met a couple cool guys, but that was before Junior and the big dog really took off.
Right.
So that, you know, we have a lot more people, man. So anybody that's gonna go out there, man. I
remember you posted the offensive line drills, and it got like 3,000-4,000 views.
Oh no, yeah, no, but that was just that was a fall practice, I believe. Yeah,
you're right. That was a fall practice. We were already up and running by then. You're right.
Yeah, I went to the first scrimmage at Trespaw. And remember, I told you I saw Justin Flo out there and this and that. So
yeah.
But yeah, man. Hey, whoever's gonna be out there, is gonna be hot. Yeah, Brett. It was so hot, man. Actually, somebody passed out. In the bleachers behind me, somebody passed out of how hot it was.
That's the only bad thing about the Mecca is there's not a lot of protection from the sun.
There is no protection from the sun, man.
Well, clouds is the only thing you can hope for. It could get, especially if you get older people there and stuff like that. It's or people out of shape. You know that.
Yeah, it was
people in shape that could get dangerous.
But it was. I think it was an overweight gentleman. And I even got upset because I don't know if I told you, big dog.
I remember when I was in a guy that played at the same time I did way back in the day. A guy named Greg Pratt, never forgot his name. Went to Auburn, and he ended up dying of heat stroke at Auburn during a practice.
Wow.
And
I know how dangerous that is, man. So like I remember just I was pretty much right on the close to the 50, I guess. I was right next to the tent. And then I started hearing commotion behind me, and then I just see like an overweight gentleman, laying flat on his back.
Yeah, man.
And then I actually got I think there was a nurse nearby, which I didn't see and I didn't know. But then like I'm seeing one of the paramedics, and they're like walking up the steps, but they're like walking slow. So I stood up and I got upset, and I was like, hey, how about a little more urgency? And then I guess somebody behind me said, no, there's already a nurse there or whatnot. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah,
it'd be good. You know what would be
surprised, man,
for the school to do, or even somebody on an individual basis get a sponsor to do, is to rent out those mist machines. You know what I'm saying? Just to hit the crowd with some of those mist machines, because they have them obviously for players, and that would be a good thing to have, for the fans, because like you said, there is no protection from the sun at the Mecca. So
yeah, you could take an umbrella out there.
Yeah, you can. And tailgating, you want to bring the tents and stuff like that, and hang out.
It was popping last year at Trespaw. Hopefully we get we had a pretty good turnout, but hopefully we get a better turnout, to support our team. And it's gonna be exciting because we got so many, different. I remember, man, it's just like I hate talking about it. I hate bringing it back. But the first time we saw, a lot of emotions from Enos, so everybody was going crazy at Trespaw. Oh my God, it's gonna be the offense. So it's gonna be exciting, man. It's gonna be exciting to see, De'Aaron King out there, to see all the freshmen coming in. Hopefully no injuries, because we lost Steed. We lost Steed last year at that scrimmage, man. So, hopefully no injuries, man. So that's something you don't want to see, and you pray for.
No, we lost it, and we lose Bradley Jennings in spring also. I believe we lost Bradley Jennings in spring last year.
Was it Jennings or was it or was
I think we lost both?
No, I know, but who was it that got hurt?
Jennings is the one that came off that people thought it was a groin and it ended up being a hip.
So it was Jennings.
It was Jennings. Yeah. That some people said
Steed was already hurt, I believe.
Right. Some people said it looked like a knee with Jennings, and then I think you thought it was a groin or a hip, and it did end up being a hip.
Yeah. Yeah.
And absolutely, man. Absolutely. Hopefully we don't have those
maybe have the game at night. Yeah, that would be better.
I mean, what I'll say, and you're right about that. And Captain Trips said that you will be my eyes and ears. And yeah, Captain Trips Jr. is really good about that, because he'll call me and he'll put it on FaceTime and let me see the practices that are going on so I can see the drills.
Yeah,
he's good about that. Yeah, Bay Two Perry says it's going to be exciting not to see Enos. Yeah, listen. You could go back to D'Onofrio. Not so much with the Canes. I know there's a lot of coaches I dislike with the Dolphins, like going back to Chuck Studley and even Oliver Dottie, who I like when he was with the Canes, but I didn't like when he was with the Dolphins. But there's few coaches of my team that I've disliked as much as I dislike Dan Enos.
Hey, we got royalty in the house. We got Mr. George Roberts in the house.
What do you say, George?
Good evening, George. How you doing?
So it's getting close. It's getting close. Couple more months, and Elijah will be on campus.
Yes,
Can't wait to see him. Good evening, George, and all my best to Shanda and Elijah and the whole family. And George, if you can, you know what? We haven't gotten a much of a report on how the family in the Bahamas, how they're doing. I know you guys have done a lot of stuff to help them, and obviously we try to do our little bit, and thanks to our great Junior and the Big Dog family, we're able to do a little bit. But if you can, give us a report, let us know how they're doing. Because it's my fault. I haven't really checked.
And it's crazy, man. Like, it's crazy how fast the year goes by.
Yeah, well,
it's already going to be March, man.
Yeah,
hurricane season starts in just a few more months.
Yeah, Eddie. A couple of people did. I remember I watched Zoe's live feed of the spring game up in Orlando last year, and I watched, and I think a couple of other guys also did the same, and that's awesome. I mean, that's just. Man, and we talked about it with Brian Jones with the donation before we even started, man. You guys are just amazing, man. Are just amazing. It's the support that we get, and I'm a believer. We joked about this a little bit when Junior was younger. He used to actually complain that his old man would wake up in a good mood every day. I was always like joking and teasing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And doing this, it proves why that's a good way to look at life.
You got to get some background on that, big dog. You can't just say that. You used to wake me up singing, man.
Oh, yeah. I would wake him up singing.
No, chico, I can't do that. I'm not a morning person like that, especially now, man. I need my coffee, my cafecito in order to get my day going, man. But Big Dog wakes up with a huge smile. It doesn't matter if he's in pain, and Big Dog is in pain a lot. He could be in pain, and he'll wake up singing to you. He doesn't care.
And by the way, just so you guys know, I can't sing worth a lick. I couldn't carry a tune.
That's what makes it so annoying, man. That's why I used to get so mad at you, man.
And by the way, and singing loud too, not just like singing where like the neighbors could hear. And I would wake him up like that. But yeah, so it was me. But the thing is, guys, one of the things that you have reaffirmed for me since we started doing this show is that there's a lot more good people in this world than there is bad. And, too often people forget that, people focus and a lot of it's media. A lot of it is obviously a squeaky wheel gets the attention. But there's a lot of good people, and the support that we've gotten from you guys is just amazing. And we are blessed. And Austin, I used to, and it was whenever it was time to wake up, it was like, it was 7:00 by 7:01, I was singing. So, but no, it's just the support that we get. And that's what brought it up to my mind was that last year at the spring game and some of the practices, a lot of you family was sharing video with each other just out of the goodness of their heart, man. And it's awesome. It's just
absolutely,
awesome,
man. Absolutely.
What do you guys want to talk? Saeed says he's just mad on Monday mornings.
Yeah, Monday mornings are bad.
Junior was never a morning person, but he was really, in all fairness, it was those teenage years that he would get like that.
Yeah.
Because it was like, you know how those teenage years are for boys, man. Those are my mother used to say that teenagers should be sent to an island and then you get them back when they're 20.
Yeah, I'm thinking about that now.
Boys.
I'm thinking about that now. I'm not really like that anymore, big dog. Well, especially
You were a
now.
teenager. Yeah, you were just young.
Especially now, I got two beautiful babies to wake up to, or sometimes they wake me up. They're my alarm
That's
clock.
true.
So, but it's just it's an amazing way to wake up. But
Brett says his wife is a morning person and it kills him.
Oh man. Bay2 Perry says, "Oh man, he used to sing to you." No, he used to sing to me, man. But that's it. I wasn't a baby no more. He was still singing to me on a teenager. Big dog. Were you able to get?
I don't, Anthony. You have to refresh my memory because I'm not sure.
I think you got the wrong guy, Anthony. You might
Anthony, somebody else might have been trying to get the funding for the program.
Kane in the desert, man. He says, "Don't know if it's been covered already, but how do y'all feel about the new wide receiver coach, Rob Likens?
I like it.
Do you think he's the guy to help them take the next step?"
Yeah,
we'll see.
I do. We'll see. Obviously, I mean,
yeah.
The part, Kane, that I like so much about it
is the connections
and his experience as an OC.
Yeah.
And it's like the perfect world because, we get the wide receiver. And listen, at the end of the day, he's the wide receivers coach. He's going to be judged on that most, on his recruiting efforts and on developing the talent that we have. So that's fair. But the two incidentals that we get with him are, one, a guy who has vast connections with the high schools in the Tri-County area, especially Dade County. Because he's very well known in Dade County circles, obviously coached at Miami Northwestern and the like. So this is a guy who has that background. And did he coach at Miami Central also?
Who's this?
Likens. Pull up his
No. You're thinking about the analyst that we got.
No. I know about the analyst. No, hold on.
What's the analyst's name, man?
I know you know you're talking about Hippolyte and the
I'm not talking about Hippolyte.
What's that?
I'm not talking about Hippolyte.
I
just forgot his name.
I'll tell you right now.
While you're looking that up, man, George says, quick update on Elijah. He says when he ran his 40 at Rivals in January of 2019, he was at 280 pounds plus. Now he's at 247.
Wow.
Remember the Bozo boys ran high 489s and 487 respectively. He's been in the weight room running.
Wow.
Nah, that's not one thing.
You're right. No, you're right. I confused Likens' resume with the other guys that we picked up.
Yeah. Like,
no, you did.
Lockett. Thank you. Good boy. Thank you. Thank you.
You're right. That's I got those. Lockett was right. It's Telly Lockett.
Yeah.
And he's the one that has the background going to Miami Northwestern and I believe Central also. Correct me if I'm wrong, Slim P, but I believe he's also he was at both schools at one point or another.
But he was a head coach at
right. He was the OC. He was the
OC at Northwestern. He was a head coach at Miami Central. I believe.
At Miami Central. Right. Yeah. That's what I believe. Yeah. You're right. For some reason, Lockett and Likens, they both get into it.
No, that's why I always forget both. I always forget their names because it's.
But no, the thing I was thinking about Likens is the fact that he has OC experience, and that's a big plus. Right. That's a big plus, and he's been around for quite a long time. But at the end of the day, we're going to judge him on two things: on recruiting wide receivers and on developing the talent that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we have to do. So we'll see.
Listen, and like we said before, man, a lot of these kids, there's not much you're gonna have to teach them when it comes to running the spread.
Oh, there we go. No, Anthony, you're right. No, that is what we have made headway with that. No, he was talking about the special needs.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. When you said scoreboard, I thought you meant something down at University of Miami. But no, we made some headway. We actually got the district we made basically 14 demands at the school board meeting 3 weeks ago. And I'm sorry, guys, we'll get back to football. I just want to give you a brief update because this is something that's really important to me. And they're basically committing to meeting all these different, whatever you want to call them, demands, improvements, those type of things with the special needs program in the district. And it's going really, really well. Now, obviously, there's going to be a vote on a levy now in March. So we'll see after that vote if they still, we're gonna hold their feet to the fire one way or another. But yeah, but it is going much better, Anthony. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, I did see some of
Yeah.
the new numbers. I know Roche's number 2. I
Yeah.
know Restrepo's like number 80. Keyshawn Washington's 25. Just off of the top of my head, those are a couple guys. Obviously King is number 1. Jaden Knight is number 4. Don Chaney's number 2. So yeah, just some jersey numbers.
Yeah.
I think Gabby from State of the U is the one that put them all out there, and I just skimmed through it real quick.
Saeed, thank you for saying that, because that's what I've been talking about. And George, I want to know because I know Elijah likes the idea of playing defensive end. Also, I get that, but the thing what I see in Elijah is he can be an elite level 3 technique defensive tackle, and his quickness combined with his speed in terms from the tackle position, not so much from the defensive end position, is going to be a force. And I like Elijah. You guys know how much I like Jason Blissett and Jared Harrison Hunt. I think the future at that D tackle, oh my God, we got guys that can penetrate in bunches.
Yeah. You tell us, Captain Trips. You tell us what number he's wearing for you. I don't really care about what he's wearing now.
What number is Lingard wearing? I have no idea. I have no idea what he's wearing there with the Gators. But the Keyshawn, Saeed's asking about Keyshawn Smith. Listen, I like Keyshawn's tape. I really did. I think people have a feeling he's a speed burner, and he has good speed, but I wouldn't necessarily call him a burner. What I do think his most impressive part of his game is 50-50 balls. He looks like he acts like a 6'4" wide receiver, and he's not that.
Yeah.
But those 50-50 balls are not 50-50 with Keyshawn Smith. They're 90-10 because he comes down. He high points balls fantastically well. Good route runner, really good hands. I like Keyshawn. I mean, like to pick up a guy of that caliber as late as we did,
right?
And it's not just that we picked him up late. We weren't recruiting him at all. At all. That guy was Washington State. I mean, it had nothing to do with us at all. And then all of a sudden, Mike Leach leaves Washington State, and we hear that his mom and him were Hurricane fans. And it's like, we contacted them. Boom, 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 boom. He committed basically sight unseen.
Yeah.
And to get a guy who's a legit 4-star at a prime position like wide receiver, listen, that's a get. That's a get. And mind you, you might say that the credit for that commitment goes to the orange and green, goes to the brand of the University of Miami, and that's legitimate, because I don't think if it wasn't for the interest that they showed in us, I don't know if that would have happened. So, yeah, you could say the brand, but still, the coaching staff had to close. They had to close, and the way that they closed, man, is impressive. Is impressive. I saw somebody was asking about the defensive ends in terms of where do I put them. We have the best defensive end rotation in the entire country, bar none. Bar none. Nobody. Listen, when you got the number 1 defensive player in the portal, and he's going to have a challenge to be able to start a guy who had 13 sacks last season at Temple, and he's going to have to share the field with a guy who happens to be the number 1 recruit in the 2017 class. And he's going to share the field with a guy who had 15 and a half sacks, even though he only started 8 games. And Gregory Rousseau. Oh, by the way, as a redshirt freshman. That's the best defensive end rotation in the country, bar none. And then Austin mentions now you start adding
Dennis.
the Williams, and Williams, Chance Williams and Quentin Williams in this class. And let's not forget Cam Williams, who was an academic redshirt last year.
Yeah.
At defensive end, are you kidding me? How about Jafari Harvey?
Harvey's, man, let me tell you something.
Whew. How about Jafari? Nobody's talking about Jafari Harvey, and that's a dude that when you throw in his tape, the agility, in addition with the burst, the agility that Jafari Harvey has at his size is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Put it this way. If it wasn't for Rousseau, Roche, and Jalen Phillips, we'd be lighting up this board about Jafari Harvey. Give me an over-under on his sacks. Seriously.
For who? For Harvey?
For Harvey. If it wasn't because of the guys that we have in front of him, people be asking me how many. Give me an over-under for sacks for Harvey this year.
Yeah, that's true.
He still might get a
few.
Yeah, but he's probably fourth on the depth chart right now. He's behind Phillips. I'm talking the real depth chart, not the fake depth chart.
Yeah. He is fourth.
I'm talking about the real depth chart, the one, not the one.
Big dog. But listen, man, we'll see. Hey, listen.
Correct.
We'll see with Jalen Phillips. We still got to see with Jalen Phillips at the end of the day.
As of right now, all we have with both of them is high school resume.
Yeah, but Harvey's already been in the program already for a year.
Correct.
And he's been working out for a full year. Jalen Phillips hasn't,
and he doesn't have the injury history. Jalen Phillips, right. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Mark, you guys made a mistake. You guys made a mistake. He says, "Is it bad?" He's Michigan. He's not Michigan State. My bad. My bad, Mark. I was almost about to go. I forgot you're Michigan. You're not Michigan State. Yeah, you didn't see that Michigan State has the Canes game as their homecoming game?
Yeah, Mark, that is sad. That is sad.
I was about to go in on you, Mark. I forgot you're all Michigan.
Yeah. But you know what? We deserve it. Not that their program's in trouble. Their program's in trouble because losing the type of coach that they had, all the extracurricular stuff that's going on in Michigan State. Listen, Mark, I watched, and I don't know if you got a chance to see it, man. There's it's probably on demand, and my apologies, guys. My memory isn't what it was. I'm not sure if it's HBO, but one of the pay channels. So it'll be on HBO on demand or Showtime. I don't know which one. They did a documentary talking about the Michigan State, all the sexual issues that there was. It's appalling. It's appalling what they made these girls go through, and it was ugly, and the cover up was ugly, and so if you guys haven't had a chance to see it, I would recommend it because it's a good watch. I mean, obviously it's a bad watch, but it's a watch that you could see how things can get so completely out of whack that it's ugly. It's ugly, but we've earned it. Listen, 6-7, we're 13-13 the last two seasons. So who are we to say we can't be anybody's homecoming game?
Yeah, that is true.
You know, Dennis, I sort of agree with you talking about the 2019 because Garvin definitely let us down. But then you had Rousseau was our team MVP. And yeah, I expected more from the D tackles too. But then we also had Nesta hurt. So it was. You're right, though. I understand why overall I expected even more, but this season I expect even more than I expected last season. So, here.
My bad. I was messing around with some of the tickers. Hold on.
I will read George Roberts' comment. Yeah, George, go ahead and read it.
He says, I agree on the 3-tech, but when they bulk him up, his IQ for the game is sick. He'll definitely push for playing time at the defensive end. You need a big dog. Y'all heard it first. We'll be hearing about Eli killing it when he gets on campus. Hey, George. No doubt. No doubts here, my friend.
I have no doubt.
No doubts here.
His besides his ability, George, he showed a competitiveness and a leadership ability that I think is something that's going to be. I mean, obviously, it's hard for a true freshman to show those aspects of his personality and his skill set. But it just Elijah. What I see in Elijah as a 3 technique, George, is uncommon quickness for a defensive tackle, and they will buck him up. I mean, I expect him probably 290 range by his sophomore season. So it's going to. You absolutely, Eddie Kane. Put an Eddie Kane's comment in there. That's absolutely true, Eddie. He says, and has the NCAA looked into Michigan State? Nope. But if it was Miami, it would be a death penalty. That's 100% true. But George, I mean, yeah. Listen, and I know Elijah likes playing. I know he likes playing the end too. But man, I see him on tape, and he just screams monster 3 technique tackle. And but I understand. I mean, it's not as much of a glamour position as defensive end, especially at Miami, because we do so much of attacking with our defensive ends. At least we have up until now, and I expect that to continue. But man, I'd love to see him as a 3 technique tackle. Yeah, you're right, Captain Trips. There's no excuse.
Coming off a bye week again.
Yeah, Dem Kane says can't wait for the season. I just need to get this taste out of my mouth. I really do. This season,
but I think we will, especially with our schedule, our very soft schedule early on, man. I think that's gonna be big. I think that's gonna be big. We don't have that crazy test early the way we did last year with the Gators. It's gonna be good, man, to implement that new system, to
get the Kinks
guy,
out.
Get the Kinks out. Get the Kinks out. Yep. And put our best foot forward, man, and get some momentum going into once we get into ACC play. I think that's gonna be crucial. So.
Oh, good question here. Jay says, what team in the ACC do you see will be a challenge on our schedule this year, 2020? That's a good question. I definitely, obviously, Virginia, with what they've done with Bronco Mendenhall, has always, for it not being as decorated of a program, Virginia for always seems to have a reason to give us a tough time.
Let me see.
I think they're going to be somewhat formidable. I'm not feeling Virginia Tech. I know a lot of people are feeling Virginia Tech more than I am. I'm thinking Pitt might be a tougher team, a tougher out this season. But other than that, obviously, as always, Jay, the toughest opponent that we face in the Coastal every single year is ourselves, because we found ways to underperform. So
I don't know, man. I'm looking at the schedule now, and
we had a soft schedule last year too.
Huh?
We had a soft schedule last year too.
I know. But this year we played Virginia and we played Virginia Tech and Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then those games are. Look, this stretch of games right here is gonna determine how we're gonna look for the ACC Coastal, in my opinion. Okay, you got. See, I think we actually beat UNC. UNC doesn't really scare me at home.
And we got them at home, yeah.
When we get Virginia on Halloween in Virginia, a week later we get Florida State at home, and a week after that we gotta travel back to Virginia Tech. Those 3 games right there.
Well, and the scary part there
are going to be crucial.
If we're able to beat Virginia, and then come back home and beat FSU, then go back on the road feeling ourselves. If we are able to win those 2 games, and then that's when Virginia Tech can sneak up on us and surprise us.
Wake doesn't. I know Wake had a really good season last year,
Yeah, but they had issues. They have issues now at the QB position.
Right,
So
exactly.
yeah,
So Wake doesn't really scare me. Listen, guys, I mean, it's lined up. Okay, fine. You want to say
it was lined up last year too. I
let's
mean,
just let's
but you're right. But you're right. It is lined up. Just
let,
because we didn't take advantage of it last year, it doesn't mean it's not lined up this year.
we should
This
start
year,
out.
it's lined up even better.
We should right, exactly. We should start off, in my opinion, at least 5-0. Okay, you got Temple, Wagner, UAB. Then you go to travel to Michigan State. I mean, listen, guys, 3 gimme games, basically. You know, you
And then
Temple,
Michigan State, right?
Temple, Wagner, and UAB at home.
Even though we're taking on Michigan State on the road,
It's not the
we
same.
got 3 tune-ups before them.
Right, exactly, and it's not the same Michigan State from years ago.
Right.
You know, where they were ranked, ranked team for several years, and then you got Pittsburgh. I think that should be a win. After that Pittsburgh game, I think that's when things.
We got Pitt in South Florida. We got Pitt at home.
No, I know. Well, I'm saying after that Pitt game, because then you got to travel to Wake Forest, and then you got that stretch that we're talking about. Yes, you got UNC at home, coming off a bye week, mind you. So hopefully
that used to be a good thing.
I know. Hopefully we get that resolved this year, where we're coming off a bye week. I think that's going to be a big emphasis. Being how bad we were coming off of bye weeks this year. I mean, this past year, I think there's going to be a big emphasis on not being flat and hitting the ground running against North Carolina. And then the only games that I'm kind of like, I'm very intrigued to see what's going to happen. It's going to be at Virginia, at home against Florida State, and then Virginia Tech.
And then
Georgia Tech, obviously, Georgia Tech doesn't scare me, man. And Duke at home, doesn't scare me either. So I think however we do against Virginia, Florida State, and Virginia Tech, those 3 games in particular is going to dictate what the Hurricanes can possibly do.
And listen, again, if you look at the talent level and you look at our schedule, you say to yourself, okay, what excuse do we have not to be in the ACC championship game? And the answer is none.
But there's never been.
But there's none every year, right? There's none every year. We've only played in the game once.
All right. So
that's the reality of it.
It's sad, man. It's sad.
Yep.
It's really sad, and I just hope that I keep on saying it, man. Nobody comes close talent-wise to the Miami Hurricanes in the ACC Coastal. I mean, if we just line up and we just play based off of talent, there is no reason why we shouldn't be playing in Charlotte every single year.
Absolutely.
But the problem is coaching has been an issue.
Yep.
Player development has been an issue. Quarterback has been an issue. A lot of issues. Okay, so
put up George Roberts' comment again. I absolutely agree, George.
He says Lashley spread up-tempo offense will be a problem for opposing teams. Yeah, 100%. Also, remember, up-tempo gives Clemson problems with that hurry-up offense with the best running backs, that receiving corps, and best tight end duo. Yeah. Listen, I expect the receivers to take a step a big step forward this year. Guys like D. Wiggins, Pope. My eyes are on Mark Pope this year, big time. All right.
But in reality, that goes back to the question about Rob Likens. That ultimately he's going to be judged on what's going to be the Wiggins, Pope, Jeremiah Payton that we see this year.
And Harley, frankly.
Well, and Harley too, but Harley's Harley. Harley's been Harley ever since he got.
He is 100%.
But what happens with those guys is ultimately what did we judge Stubblefield on?
Yeah.
Why did we want Stubblefield gone?
Because the players, the wide receivers weren't running their routes fully. They weren't, not just developing, big dog. The effort level.
Well, the effort level wasn't there, but on top of that, they did not develop. We didn't get the Mark Pope that we were hoping for last spring.
No, we didn't.
We didn't get the D. Wiggins we were hoping for when we heard he got timed at 23 miles an hour last year.
Yeah, but at least we saw flashes of D. Wiggins.
We saw flashes, but that's all we saw. Yeah. And then we didn't see Jeremiah Payton at all. It wasn't recruiting. Because Stubblefield got us Michael Redding. Okay, listen, Stubblefield did the job recruiting.
He did.
So
granted, yeah.
it was the lack of development from the wide receivers that we saw. Because ultimately, that's what you're going to get judged as a position coach. Is two things: what have you done recruiting, and what have you done developing?
Right.
Okay, and really think about it this way: since Amon Richards.
We have no idea what Likens can do with recruiting yet because he didn't recruit anybody.
Correct. But since Amon Richards, when's the last time that we really recruited a receiver that lived up to his potential?
No, Thomas. Okay.
Thomas most certainly did not.
No. I was actually talking about Thomas Miles. He said, wrong, Junior. We've tried to beat teams on talent on loan. And that talent hasn't. But that brings me to my point, Thomas. That's exactly what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is that we are supremely talented. We're uber talented compared to the other teams in the ACC Coastal.
But the
reason why we haven't won has been because
two C's: culture and coaching.
That's it.
That's
the reason why we haven't won. My point is, if you just say, all right, don't go out there and play the game. Take talent for talent on paper, whatever it is, Canes should win. That's the way it's been, man. Always since we joined the ACC. So I mean, I just don't. We just got to see it. We got to see we got to see our players.
For me to get excited about our prospects, I feel.
What do you mean? No. What does that mean, Thomas? What does that mean? No.
But in order, I saw that there were somebody was arguing about Sam Howell.
So you don't think we have talent? Is that what you're trying to say, Thomas?
I don't get what he's saying on that one. But would you guys agree that De'Ara King is the most important player for you in the last 10 years? His season pretty much dictates if we start over and you had that Austin, you could absolutely make a case for that in terms of the impact that it's going to have on the program. Listen, it's I think De'Ara's going to be, you're right. What he does this year will dictate what happens going forward. So he is definitely the most pivotal one. Thomas says not supreme. You're splitting hairs.
I disagree.
Even if you want to say not supreme, it's more than enough talent to win the Coastal Division every single year.
You're going to tell me.
That's not disputable.
Remember, I'm just talking about the Coastal. I'm just talking about the Coastal.
There you go.
Line up anybody's talent in the Coastal. I'm only talking about the Coastal. Right. And yes, the Miami Hurricanes are supreme when it comes to talent over everybody else in the ACC Coastal.
I mean, we had, 2019 opening day of the NFL season, we had 37 players in the NFL. Georgia Tech has 6.
Like it's not even, once you go to the entirety of the ACC, obviously you got Clemson, you got FSU. That's completely different. But I'm not talking about the ACC. I'm not talking about the Atlantic Division. I'm talking about the Coastal.
To the Coastal, there's not a team in terms of talent that should be able to stay with us.
No, there's not, man. There's not. But Big Dub, I don't think it's that close.
No, it's not. It's not. But that goes back to the thing of we have argued Big Dub at the very thing. How many first rounders are on this team? Well, again,
but that goes back to the argument that we have. My question, and then we got to correct it later. It was based on talent alone,
right?
Is what Big Dub was trying to say in terms of what could be a first round talent. My argument was we've had first round talent, but because of coaching and because of developmental issues, they have not panned out that way.
Right.
But you cannot argue that the first round talent is there for the Miami Hurricanes.
Correct.
So me and Big Dog, we just I misunderstood. I forgot who was it that asked the question, but we got into it because Big Dog, I understood it as that these guys are going to be first rounders, right. And I said I've seen so many guys that have that kind of first round talent, and it just hasn't panned out for whatever reason.
And they haven't panned out. Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So, come on now. Like Stunner Boy said, our talent is light years ahead in the Coastal. 100%, man. And it's not close, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
It's not close.
And we go back to the same thing. is we've played in the ACC chat. Yes, listen, I don't count that probation, quasi-probation period of time because that was unfair. We were actually put on probation for like a 5-year period because we had the sword of Damocles hanging over our head that, we were going to get the death penalty. So I don't count those 5 years, but still take away those 5 years. There's still 10 other years that we should have won the Coastal, and we've played in the ACC championship game once, which goes to your point, is coaching and culture. That's what we've been missing.
Well, and that goes to the point, some of the point that George is saying here. George is saying that King and Reed are the missing pieces. Leadership is needed at the most important position on the field, and now we have it. This year and going forward, guys will be accountable for on and off the field actions, man. 100%. 100%. And that's something that we believe that Ed Reed brings to the table, man. He's going to be a mentor to these kids. He's going to hold these kids accountable. And he knows where these kids hang out. He knows the relationships. He knows the parents. And you know what? If he catches you slipping and if he catches you out of line, guess who he's going to go to? The head coach.
One of the
it's up to Manny to go ahead and address those situations.
One of the important things that the reason why we criticize Manny for not handling the discipline situation better is that there seemed to be like this fear of not upsetting the apple cart, like not disciplining players to the extent that they should have because, but they're going to leave the program. And one of the first things I loved about Ed Reed, what did Ed Reed say? If you're more about the perks than you are about the work, hit the transfer portal. And that's what we need. We need our coaches not to be afraid going, listen, man, this is the standard. You have two choices. You hit it or you walk. One or the other.
Yeah. OG Kane, what's up, man? He says, Junior Big Dog finally catching live. Thank you for joining us, man. And I'm glad you're able to catch it live. I know you're a grinder. You're a hustler. You're always working, man. So I appreciate you joining us, man. We'll mean the Big Dog are live. Thomas says he says he's all Kane. He has no problem saying that our talent has been average at best at times. Yes, better than most in our division, but not enough to just dominate.
That's not true.
I respectfully disagree, Thomas.
That's not
man.
true. We've played Georgia Tech, and more often than not, they have given us trouble. And we have 6 times the amount of players in the NFL that Georgia Tech does. Over 6, actually.
Yeah.
That's talent. Okay. And that's with having guys that have underperformed. Because that number would be even greater if those guys had actually performed. Because that's the difference. I
think we're third, Big Dog, in the last 20 years of NFL players to get drafted.
We are.
I think it was Bama and Ohio State
and us.
And then us.
That's in the last 20 years, man.
It's in the last 20 years. So, I mean, that if that doesn't point to our talent level, then I don't know.
As of right now, 2019, we were 1 place out of 3rd. We were 4th in a number of players by college in the NFL. That points to talent. That's not going back to our glory days because Frank Gore is the only one left from the 01 team still playing in the NFL.
Yeah, that's not only a certain amount of players were drafted. We're talking about hundreds of players drafted in the last 20 years. Right. So we're not talking about just our glory days.
Right.
No, we're talking about guys that have been drafted and the talent has been there, but the success hasn't been there overall as a team. So
now can you say that our team now is not at the same level of talent and depth of talent that like a 2001 Miami team had? Of course not.
Not just that.
The greatest team of all time.
Not just 2001, but we don't have as much depth right now in certain, like excluding the defensive line. Excluding the defensive end, we don't have the kind of depth that the Clemsons, the Bamas, the Ohio States, those kind of schools have, because we don't. Our linebacker positions, we got guys that we got to see what they're going to do, but still we don't have that much depth in that position. Offensive line,
correct.
We don't have that much depth.
That's the biggest drawback. But in terms of skill positions, I'll put up talent. I'll put up our skill positions against anybody, including the Clemsons. Okay, right now we lost Lingard.
You mean excluding the offensive line?
Correct.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Excluding the offensive line.
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes to recruited talent at wide receiver, at running back, this is now, out of the last 3 years, twice we have recruited 2 top 10 running backs in one season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Twice. In 2018, we have both Cam Harris and obviously Lorenzo Lingard were top 10 running backs in the country. 2020, Don Chaney and the Rooster are both top 10 running backs in the country. We've done that twice in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They were talking the other day, I forgot it was ESPN, somebody had an article about grading the 2020 running back classes. And they were talking about Clemson, they do have a 5-star running back, but they also had a 3-star. Those were the 2 that they were counting on. We have a guy that should be a 5-star in Don Chaney.
Don't even say it should be anymore, man. I will throw hands with anybody that says that Don Chaney's not a 5-star.
But and Rooster, who's a very high 4-star, a legit very high 4-star.
Exactly.
So I mean, that's type of talent that you'll never see at Virginia. You'll never see it at I'm going to leave Virginia Tech out of the argument for now but they've been down also. Because they used to be close to an elite level program, but Virginia, Pitt, you have to go back to the days of Tony Dorsett and Dan Marino before Pitt was really that much of a force in college football. But then you look at all these other teams, Duke. Okay, listen, people forget Duke set a record, man, for how many consecutive football games they lost in the ACC.
They're a basketball school, man.
They're a basketball school. So this idea that our talent isn't supreme to dominate the Coastal? No, man. I don't know what type of talent. What you're looking at, because in every aspect that you can measure talent, it's there. And then we go back to how many first rounders. Anybody that saw Jeff Thomas play high school football and then seen Jeff Thomas, what he can do in clips, are you going to tell me that that's not high level? If it's not first round or second round, third round talent, he's not going to get drafted there because of all the off the field issues. But in terms of talent, man, remember against LSU last year, how much faster Jeff Thomas looked than Greedy Williams. Michael Love with a donation. Thank you so much, Michael. He says, appreciate the content. Great as always. All the best. Thank you, Mike. All the best.
And thank you for always joining us, Michael, and for your donations, man. Every single time we're live, you throw it in here, man. So thank you so much. The big dog can't thank you enough. Let me see what Thomas says. He says we also don't have frontline dominant players who can just take over a game. We have a bunch of third-day players going to the league.
Is it a first-day player? Both those guys are going to be first-rounders this year.
Who's this?
Brevin Jordan, Greg Rousseau will both be first-rounders next year.
Yeah.
Almost without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Roche's another one that's not going to be he might be like a second-rounder. Depending on
But if you talk about talent, Jalen Phillips is first-round talent. Michael Redding is first-round talent. Now, whether Don Chaney's first-round talent, whether they develop, well, that's culture and coaching.
Yeah, 100%.
But the talent is there, and those are players that you're not going to have at Virginia. You're not going to have at other places in the Coastal. So anyway.
Will Mallory's a first-round talent.
Absolutely. But now we'll see if he develops to being a first-round talent.
Right. I wanted to go to a 904. He's a good question here, man. He has at Big Dog and Junior. Do we have a wide receiver on the roster that can be that unstoppable guy, a beast? Who?
Good question.
I got 2 for you. For me, it's D. Wiggins and Mark Pope.
For me, it's D. Wiggins and Michael Redding.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'll stick to my 2. I think man, Pope is just Pope has
the ability. Man. Pope has the ability, but now 2 years now.
Yeah, Jeremiah could be as well. Saeed.
1 year he took the red shirt, And it's not that he took the red shirt, it's that he wanted to take a red shirt because he even said he wasn't in his playbook.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to see that from Michael Redding.
Yeah.
But in terms of talent, I do think those are the guys that I
Redding.
think have those
Johnny Utah says Redding. Saeed, he says Jeremiah Payton.
Payton
doesn't think Pope is any good.
Well, no, I mean, Saeed Pope has talent. He just hasn't lived up to it at all. But there's a reason why he was a 5-star on Rivals and was a high 4-star every place else. The reason I say Redding
he takes Payton
over both is the top gear. I think Redding has a top gear that I'm not sure Jeremiah has. We'll see. We'll see in terms of that. But I do like Jeremiah quite a bit also. But listen, Redding, man, people don't sleep on Redding. You know, it was one of those things because his recruitment went kind of weird because we sort of recruited him late. And then we got the commitment without even expecting it. And then he basically shut it down. He wasn't in people's minds and conversations. Redding's a baller, guys. If you guys haven't seen Redding, he's 6'1", 195. He is plug and play. Tremendous work ethic.
Boys, he's
speed.
Ripped.
And he is shredded muscular. Yeah. I mean, this kid has been putting in time in the weight room, man. For you to see a receiver in high school at 195 at 6'1", shredded like Redding is, he has the work ethic.
James Wolford said it best, and I can't agree any more than this. He says last year's offense is going to identify the best receivers. Point blank. Period. So we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it. These guys are gonna be running, and these guys are gonna be. You know, it's gonna be an exciting up-tempo offense to watch. He says that he hopes we have enough receivers. I think we do.
I would have liked to pick up.
What's up, David?
A graduate transfer like with a KJ Osborne type, James. But you know, I think the ship might have sailed on that already. We still have some oars in the water with obviously Tyreek Black. We talked about the young man from. Oh my God, from Texas, from North Texas, James Rico Bussies. Thank you, man. I was trying to remember the name. The old man's trying his head, but the thing is, I would like to see some depth, and I do love Restrepo. By the way, you know who gets credit for recruiting Restrepo? Judy, who gets credit for recruiting Restrepo?
You do, man.
Big dog, because I was on Restrepo for the last year and a half, trying to send tweets out and to showcase his highlights and stuff like that, and I was trying to talk to him about becoming a Cane, man. And when he got the offer and he committed, I was like, oh my God, I was so happy. Yeah, Restrepo has embarrassed a ton of DBs. Absolutely, Austin. If you guys haven't seen Restrepo at some of these elite camps that he goes to, he embarrasses DBs. I mean, embarrasses them where he puts a move on them and they stop running.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, beyond broken ankles, okay, where he does a move and literally he's 10 yards separated from them and they just give up. Okay, and he does that to 4- and 5-star guys. Restrepo has moves for days, and his short area quickness is beyond elite. We're talking about a young man. I know that they have him listed at 4.16. Twice at the Orlando regionals, the not the opening, one of the camps. I'm trying to remember which, not the Nike camp. I think it was one of the other camps, one of the other shoe company camps. At that camp, he ran two.
The one where he faked like it was gonna be an out, and he just took it.
Oh
deep.
yeah. Oh, it's ridiculous. he did two short shuttle times in the 3.8s, and they didn't give it to him officially because at first they didn't believe it, and they redid it. He ran another short shuttle in the 3.8s, and that gives you an idea what type of short area quickness Restrepo has on top of 4.5 speed.
3.8 shuttle is just ridiculous. Saeed says it was a rival. It was the rivals camp.
Thank you. It was the rivals camp. You're right, Saeed. And you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Clutch, baby.
You're right. It was the rivals camp in Orlando.
$10 donation, man, from Wesley Shepard. He says, "Love the show as always, fellas. Who do you think will be King's go-to man? He should have a field day every game."
You're right, Wesley. I think his go-to guy will be Brevin.
I agree.
I think his go-to guy will be Brevin. I think listen, when you have that type of body that Brevin has, where he knows how to use it, and is the route runner, is the type of player that Brevin is, I think that's going to become De'Aaron King's right-hand man. That's going to be the dude that anytime De'Aaron feels like he needs a catch, he needs a 3rd and 7, I think it's going to be Brevin Jordan.
Yeah. I usually like giving a different answer, just so we could enlarge and expand on the discussion a little bit. But yeah, I can't. That's who I think 100% is going to be the guy, man. It's gonna be.
If I was De'Aaron King, if I was the quarterback, that would be my go-to guy.
That would be my go-to guy too, man.
That's the guy.
Hey, tight end is a quarterback's best friend, security blanket, and it's been for years. So,
oh my God. Put George Roberts' comment.
Yeah, I was just about to.
You said it perfectly, George. I can't even add anything to it. Go ahead.
Yeah, he says the NFL is licking their chops at UN players now because / past years after chip team they can get lower in the draft because the UN winning yet. They know that some of them do you for a straight gap to the NFL. I lost you at the end of that.
At the U for that some of them look at as a stopgap to the NFL. Right. Yeah, you're right, and that's the thing that needs to be corrected.
Stopgap to the NFL. I got you now.
Right.
No, yeah,
and that's the thing that needs
to be corrected.
The
logo still means something, man. It doesn't matter if we go 6 and 7 or if we go 5 and 8.
No, and listen, and here's the truth. Not only, and this is not just, I'm not looking at it towards with orange and green shades on. The truth is that we have overperformed on Sundays, even when we're drafted. What you don't see at Miami is a lot of busts, like you see with other schools. A perfect example is not just us that says them. You saw it went around and made the rounds. Colin Cowherd said that when Miami has dominated college football, we dominate Saturdays and we dominate the NFL and Sundays. He said Alabama.
What was that streak that we had, big dog? For
it was like 20
touchdowns.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We went over 14 years in the NFL where a Hurricane scored a touchdown every week.
That's stupid.
Over 14 years. 17 first-round draft picks on one team, the 2001 National Championship team. 38 players drafted and from that one team. And on top of that, when we went to the league, we dominate on Sundays. Mm-hmm. So, and one of the things that Colin Cowherd pointed out, he goes, listen, when Bama has dominated Saturdays, yeah, they dominated Saturdays, but sometimes their players dominate in the NFL. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they bust.
We just said it. A lot of bust.
A lot of bust.
Yep.
And that's the same has been with other colleges. Florida's been famous for having a lot of bust in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not with the Canes. Not with the Canes. The guys that were expected to be good were good. And I think we went through, there was I think it was like 21 consecutive first round draft picks of the Hurricanes that made at least one Pro Bowl. I believe that was the number. Either made one Pro Bowl or were a long-time NFL starter. We had like 21 consecutive. So that's the thing, that in terms of talent, man, it's there. I mean, listen, if you look up Miami Northwestern players in the NFL, there's more Miami Northwestern players in the NFL than there is Georgia Tech. Seriously, Miami Northwestern would be like 15th or 20th in number of players if they were a college. Same thing with other schools, Carroll City. So I'm not just saying Miami Northwestern, but the other schools that have had their times in the sun. Miami Central's had their time in the sun. Some of even the lower tier, look at what Columbus has done now. I mean, there's other schools that are close to that, but that's the reality of the amount of talent that we have that's out there. So it's a matter of developing those talents.
Yeah, Shane. Shane, I don't want to think this far ahead, but I do have an answer to your question here. He says, "What do you think the landscape of the program will look like if Lashley leaves?" I think we'll be fine, and I'll tell you why. I think once Lashley implements the spread, and obviously, if he leaves, it's because we're successful, and he's an up and coming OC. So he might get, a head coaching job offer elsewhere, but that comes with success. So I think the spread is going to work at Miami, but I think this is just breaking the ice, frankly, bringing the spread to Miami. And I think once we do see the success, listen, if Rashleigh leaves, we're going to bring somebody else who's going to implement a similar offense.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So I'm not concerned that much.
You know what I would put it this way: the idea of Rhett Lashley is more important than Rhett Lashley.
Great point, big dog. That's a great way to put it.
I think that's the best way of putting it. Yeah. Because just the idea of Rhett Lashley establishing the spread as Miami's offense, if he has the success we expect and he moves on to a head coaching opportunity, we're going to get somebody who does that same exact thing.
Exactly.
So the idea of a Rhett Lashley is more important than actually Rhett Lashley.
Yeah. Aiden, if Lashley's a one and done coach, I mean, the same applies. Same thing applies. So, all right, Hurricane Lotso, I haven't seen you in quite some time, man. You mad at Junior the Big Dog? What's going on, man? He says, so quick question we can answer before the season starts. Is this going to be a rebuild year? No.
no, Hurricane Lotso, I don't see it. I mean, we definitely didn't get De'Aaron King. Yeah, we didn't go out and get De'Aaron King and Quincy Roche and stuff to rebuild.
I feel like that's a little bit of sarcasm coming from
Manny. I know. He's saying because of Manny's comments, and I don't blame you.
Yeah, I don't blame you either, man. He's Lauren. There's a reason he's hiring people with spread experience. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say about the Likens hire, Lauren. He says there's a reason when he's hiring people with spread experience. I guarantee Manny asked him to think about that. Yeah, 100%, man.
Absolutely. Hey, listen, Steven, we have our best recruiter, Steven Field, has spread experience.
Yeah.
And people are saying, well, he might not be ready to be an OC at the college level yet. Okay.
Not yet, but
okay. He won't be, and he'll bring a spread.
Yeah.
He'll bring the spread. So, yeah, I think just the idea of getting Rhett Lashley in the door and installing that offense, I think then the rest will come. And I'll tell you what, recruiting is going to be really, really weird this year. I'm letting you guys know, because I think what's going on is this. Unlike, let's say our 2018 recruiting class, which was so great, we got everybody basically committed early. We had 19 of them or something signed on the early signing period in 2018. This is going to be the 180-degree opposite of that, because I think what's going to happen is a lot of recruits want to see what happens on the field. And then once they see Lashley having success and Miami winning, then you're going to see a lot of these bigger time recruits start jumping at Miami again.
But do you mean committing early, or do you mean, national signing day getting
correct? Guys? No. Here's what I'm saying is what our recruiting class looks like in August is going to have very little resemblance to the recruiting class we get in December. Assuming we have the season that I expect us to have.
Right.
Now, if we have a crappy season, then it's different.
Do you mean in terms of early enrollees or getting guys like Avante Williams?
Correct. Getting the Avante Williams type of guys. Exactly.
I will give you some pushback on that.
They're not going to commit in August.
I'll give you some pushback.
They'll commit to us in October or November, but not in August. Now, 7-0 in November. Now we can go elephant hunting.
Yes, but that's why I'm trying to ask you this question. Do you see that changing when it comes to early enrollees, or do you think that we leave some more spots open because we had a successful season and because we're on the radar or of more highly touted recruits? That's my question.
Right. I think we'll be on the radar of more highly touted recruits.
Based on Manny's philosophy of recruiting, quote unquote, it's either you want to be a Cane or you don't. That we're not going to be holding a bunch of scholarships for guys that don't want to sign early in December.
Correct. But also beggars can't be choosers. And we're 13-13 in the past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're asking now, especially when you're a highly touted recruit that can go anywhere, asking them to commit to us and shut it down, sight unseen.
You can't do that with like the Justin Flows of the world, and
you definitely can't do that when you're 13-13 and nobody has seen what the 2020 Miami Hurricanes look like. Now we're 7-0 come November. Yeah. Then you're going to see, or you're going to be 8-0 to come November. And now you're going to see us elephant hunting. And now a lot of these big time 2021 recruits that aren't looking our way, 2021, well, the 2021 class, recruits that aren't looking our way will start looking our way. And I'm not just talking about the James Williams of the world. I'm talking about Jason Marshall and Corey Collier. I'm talking about a lot of these guys that have sort of gone away. Now that Miami has the juice, again, with De'Aaron King and all the stuff that happened in the offseason and Rhett Lashley, if they see the performance on the field, our class come December and then the late signing day in February will be vastly different in December and February than it was in August.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, and I think it could be a domino effect. You know,
absolutely.
I think these kids pay attention, man, and a lot of these kids, believe it or not, contrary to what some people believe, a lot of these kids want to play for the University of Miami. They want to play for you,
but they want to have a reason to come.
Thank you. That's my point. So it's like, if we have Avante's
a perfect example.
Oh, yeah, but
Avante's heart was with Miami the whole time, but he wouldn't commit.
I know. But like I said, it creates a domino effect because if we win and the product on the field looks good, you start to see, you know, other like you said, elephant hunting, big time recruits, then other recruits jump on board. Like, okay, not only does it look like they're heading in the right direction, but damn, this dude just committed. Oh, did this dude just committed? Oh man, so they're reloading. Okay. I want to be a part of that. So
I see it now. Okay,
yeah. So it creates a domino effect as well.
James Wilson has a really good comment, and those are exactly are the recruits, James, that I'm talking about.
Go ahead, yeah, exactly. He says a lot of recruits in South Florida don't have Miami in their top 5. It says Miami is still in it. Yeah, 100%. Exactly.
Those are the ones I'm talking about. That you know, but if you force them, if you put a gun in their head and say, "What do you think about Miami?" They're not going to rule them out but they want to see it.
They're not.
Now with all that we have, with an exciting spread offense, if we're winning and winning in an exciting fashion. You'll watch all those players. Then all of a sudden, listen, we saw it time and again. How many times did we see that players make a top 5 and then it ends up being somebody out of their top 5?
Well, perfect example, perfect recent example was Justin Flo. Justin Flo didn't have USC in his top 4. And then all of a sudden late, it was, now he's considering USC.
Right.
Oh, now it might come down to Oregon and USC. That's what a lot of the
Alabama when he did, because his Final 4 were Oregon, Georgia, Clemson, and
Miami.
And Miami.
Right. And we were surprised
USC wasn't in it, and Alabama wasn't in it, and he even put the Alabama thumbnail thing on his Twitter site.
Yeah,
whatever it was. So that's the thing, exactly what James said, and that's going to be, we are going, exactly, Stunner Boy. He says we got to win in order to get those prize recruits. And that's why I believe again, believing that we finally see what we hope to see all along, that the talent and the performance matches each other.
Yeah.
Then you're going to see a lot of those big time recruits go, hey, you know what? I think the U is really getting to be back.
Yeah.
And now we become a player.
John Shields, he says, so Junior, what is the record for a successful season? Minimum number of wins. Listen, to me, it's winning the ACC Coastal.
Correct. But double digit. I want to see double digit wins.
Okay, but let's say it's not 10-2, big dog, but it's 9-3. And
with a bowl win, make it to 10.
Huh?
With a bowl win, making it to 10.
Well,
even if we lose the ACC championship game, assuming let's say that we do,
right?
I never want to assume a loss, but assuming that we do, and then we win our bowl game and still end up 10-4.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. I can live with that.
So I mean, listen, a trend upwards. Obviously, you can't really. Okay, a trend upwards in this case would be just 7-6 is kind of a trend upwards, I guess, from last season. But no, it's not just a fact of like, yes, you need to win. Like, no, you need to win the Coastal. You need to go to Charlotte, win
and just see a game like see a few games like the Louisville game.
No,
see a couple of games where we win 59 to 13,
that's what I was going to. I was no, we don't need to be playing Georgia Tech and having it to be whatever, a close game.
Guys, like, you guys remember
Duke, there shouldn't be a close game.
Hey,
FIU, no,
you don't have to go any further.
Wagner to be a close game. I don't want to see UAB to be a close game. No, man. Like we need to be putting numbers on the board and dominating, and that's what I mean. All those things.
At 2017 is a good example. We started out 10-0. Okay, but we didn't. I mean, we got up to number 2 in the country. Okay, but we didn't have that juice. There was still that because we were beating, Georgia Tech at the very end by, in the rain. Obviously the guy who will forever live. What's that?
Darryl Langham.
Darryl Langham will always be a Hurricane hero forever with the two of the biggest catches in recent history.
Yeah, exactly.
But so we didn't have that juice. There was still that doubt. But if we're winning and blowing out some teams with an exciting up-tempo offense and they see points being scored, that adds to that glamour and that adds to that juice.
Yeah. How's it going, Dan? What's going on, Dan? I haven't seen you in a little bit. Hope everything's good, man. Top 10 ranking and success. But listen, going to that 2017 season, big dog. Yes, there were close games, but
we were 10-0.
Right,
we were winning ugly. A lot of the games we were winning
very ugly. But what did that lead to? What kind of recruiting class in 2018?
A top 10 recruiting class, in my opinion, much higher than that. In my opinion, that recruiting class should have been at the very least top 5. And skill position,
I think we finished 8th, right?
Yeah, I think we finished 8th. But skill position, you can make an argument. It was the number 1 class in the country.
Yeah, it was crazy
because two top 10 tight ends, 2 top 10 running backs, Mark Pope, okay, one of the highest ranked wide receivers in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can keep going because there's a lot more talent on that team, on that 2018 team. So, or 2018 recruits, I should say. But you're right. We started out 10-0, and look at the recruiting class that we had in 2018.
Yeah.
But the difference is, then we had them all signed because remember, Lingard committed to us and didn't play. He stayed committed to us.
Right.
And we had a lot of guys. We had like 19 early signees that year. They weren't all early enrollees, but they signed in December. Okay, this class, I think it's going to be the opposite.
Yeah. But I think
this class won't really take shape until November and then early December. And
wasn't 2017 the first year that they were able to sign so early?
I thought 2018 was.
Was it 2018?
I mean, 2018 was the first.
That recruiting class. I'm sorry.
Recruiting class, right.
the 2018, I think, what was the first year that.
Well, in 2017, but it was the first year that we had the early signing period.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Every single year we're gonna have over 10 early enrollees. Easy. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be every year, and that's the way you want it to be. Frankly, that's the way you want it to be. You want early enrollees to get in there early.
I love that. And last year we only had 3. Last year all we had was Peyton, Zion Nelson, and Jafari Harvey.
Yeah,
we have a bunch. We have 13 as thus far that reported in January. I believe it was 13. Well, and that's not including the transfers. So I'm not including De'Aaron King. I'm not including Quincy Roche.
Right.
I'm not including Borregales.
Yeah.
We had 13 early enrollees from high school.
Right.
That's a huge number.
Yeah. Hey guys, just very quick, man. We have 177 people in the chat, man. Thank you for everybody that has joined us tonight. If you guys haven't already, man, please hit that like button on this video if you're enjoying the content. We're not going anywhere just yet. We still got about 10 more minutes. We're trying to take it to an hour and a half. 179 people now.
Well, thank you guys so much, man.
But yeah, like I was saying, man, hit that like button. If you guys are new here, man, please subscribe to Junior and the Big Dog. Join the Junior and the Big Dog family, like you see on the little ticker, like I did that on the bottom. And join our family, man. Subscribe, hit that notifications bell so you get notified anytime me and the Big Dog do upload a video. We go live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And yeah, and we also do player breakdowns, recruiting. Obviously we're going to be talking about the spring practice and whatnot. It's going to get going and just waiting. I know I keep on saying this, man. I hate doing it, man, but I'm still waiting on my laptop. This is not my laptop right now. This is a loaner, if you will, man. But I have all my software. I have everything on this freaking laptop, and the disc is got damaged, believe it or not. So I have my brother-in-law who's an IT guy. They're trying to do their best to extract everything because we got almost like 250 gigs of like just the data and a whole bunch of stuff, man. So I'm trying to get that fixed as soon as possible, man. But I promise you guys, doing the Big Dog is never gonna go away from our player breakdowns and doing our regular uploads that are not live, man. I'm gonna see. You know what? Maybe if I have some time this weekend. Obviously, you guys know I have twins, so it's kind of hard. But I'm gonna see if there's a way that I could possibly recover some of the software that I had that me and the Big Dog used when we did our recruiting breakdown videos, man. So to try to get that out to you guys, because I know we keep on saying it, man, every single live.
Yeah, I know.
Man, we got so many players to break down, and I know how much you guys love those breakdowns. You guys love talk, with a Big Dog. Yeah, because Junior's not gonna be doing no talk.
I love talk.
Big Dog is the brains of football.
Okay.
Talk to me about basketball, baseball. I can hang with you, Big Dog, somewhat. At least when it comes to basketball, baseball.
Basketball, you definitely can.
Yeah, but I can't hang with you with football necessarily. But
well, I have a tough time hanging with you with basketball. So,
well, you don't really watch basketball anymore these days. Speaking of which, man, the Heat have been pissing me off lately, man. They cannot win on the road to save their life, man. I think they're like 13 and 18 on the road, and they're 22 and 3 at home.
Yeah,
ridiculous, man. Yeah. Whatever. But thank you guys for joining us tonight, man. We really do appreciate it, man. I know you guys need those breakdowns, and they're gonna come. They're gonna come. Don't worry about it.
Jay says we'll do some rapid fire.
Yeah, let's do some rapid fire before we jump out.
Jay says Jordan Miller and Nesta Jade Savera. I'm looking to hold down the middle of that line. Yeah, of that D line. Absolutely, Jay. And listen, Jonathan Ford, I think we expected more from him than he delivered. But at the same time, I think he's definitely going to be in that mix too. But absolutely, Jordan Miller, I just love seeing that, man. That's the thing, we talk about culture, and I just love seeing a young man come to college and come to make it's not a destination, it's a stop along the journey. And the way Jordan Miller has reshaped his body and the type of player that he's making himself into is a beast. When we broke down tape of this past season, and Jordan Miller was the highest rated tackle in terms of grade. And that shows you what type of a player Jordan Miller is. And and listen, when you got D tackles like that, I'm not as worried about our linebackers. First off, I'm a big fan of both Avery Huff and Sam Brooks. And obviously we got McLeod back for a senior season, for a fifth-year senior, and that's going to be huge. And our secondary is going to have that much more experience, and our D line is sick. So I think our defense is at the very least a top, man. I'm even go as far as saying top 5 defense in the country. And if our offense does what I think it will do, this could be a very special season. But again, I'm like a lot of you guys. I'm not going to buy that hype.
Show me the money.
You gotta show it to me. You gotta show me, because I'm done with believing in you until you prove that it's worth it. So I agree. You got says Big John Ford's going to turn it up this year. Listen, last year was really the first year he got substantial playing time, so I think he'll be better too.
Yeah, I expect big things. Manuel Soto says they need to open up that QB competition. They can't just hand this to King.
Technically, Manuel, they're going to have an open competition, but everybody in the world knows who's the QB going to be. Yeah. James Julius says Avante on defense. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Avante will be in the rotation, James. I don't think he'll get as much time as our top 3 of Bubba, Gervin, and Amari, but I definitely see him in the rotation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, 904. I know. I'm with you, man. I hate that. God, I hate that. That baseball series this past weekend just like tore me in half. Especially the first couple of games, man. We gave them the first couple of games. I mean, they were both, close games, extra inning games, and whatever. But we had a lot of mistakes. But anyways, listen, there's still a lot of baseball left to be played, so we'll be back.
Oh, Dan Kane actually had a couple questions, man. He says that running back depth concerns him a little bit, and also he was wondering if Peyton Matocha is a spread guy.
Yes, Matocha is a spread guy. Yeah, Dan, I see that. I'm a little concerned about the running back, the numbers, because that's such a highly physical position that, well, we saw it this past year. Even though it was a relatively injury-free season, not preseason. Yeah, but that's the thing, man. That 4 can go down to 2 pretty quick. Because running backs, man, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit a lot. And we saw it this past season. We were fine with DJ and Cam and Lingard. And then all of a sudden, Lingard's not playing. Cam, DJ gets the dislocated elbow. And then when Cam got backed up, we were down to Robert Burns.
Well, 4 guys get hurt, then it's just not meant to be.
No. But ideally, you'd like 5 or 6.
You could, and we have athletes to put at running back.
Running back is no, dude. You can do that other places. You can't do it at running back.
Oh, I know.
Running back has too much instinct, too much reading.
What comes to worst, you could put
pass protection. No, dude. That's a position that you either are or you're not. Yeah. You can't. Well, think about this. You've seen a lot of transfers to wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, early on with Lingard, the reason why he didn't see the field that much was because he didn't hold his blocks very well, and he didn't pick up blitzes very well. That was one of the reasons of why Lingard didn't see the field very early on in his freshman year, because he still had to work out when it came to block.
Pass pro and pass protection. And look at the job DJ did in pass protection this past season.
Amazing.
But that wasn't when he moved to running back.
No, it wasn't.
Remember, he was a high school quarterback.
Yeah,
he wasn't like that.
It wasn't
there. So,
who do you think would be the leader on defense? That's a good question, Sigmund. What you got, big dog?
McLeod. I think McLeod. I think he steps up.
Okay. I would say Bubba.
Bolden, yeah. Bubba just has that personality, man.
He has.
Bubba's just he's a leader by birth. You know, you could just tell. I mean, we talked about the DJ Ivy play. Bubba had just started playing. You know, when DJ Ivy let the punt for a touchdown, who did we see jumping up and down telling everybody punt safe? Bubba Bolden.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and he had just basically started playing. So
I saw the funniest meme because people were laughing at Tate at running back. I saw the funniest meme.
Yeah, Tate's not a running back.
It showed Tate at Louisiana Tech. And I forgot what movie it was. Oh man. Whatever. Whatever. I'm gonna see if man, I'm not gonna do justice with it. I'm gonna see if I can share it on.
Sana, I would say Rousseau too, but Rousseau is such a he's such a soft-spoken guy, you know, that
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, he leads by example. Rousseau's the type of guy that leads by example.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's not that vocal.
No, he's not.
So that's why I think Bubba would be more of the leader type.
Yeah. Who replaces the Murph on special teams? I don't know.
Anthony says that he wants to know if one of the formations, because Lashley does use a fullback on occasion, or he has in the past on occasion, but not very often. He said which of the running backs would transfer the best. I think what he would do, Anthony, in that situation is not use any of the running backs at fullback. Is use Brevin as a fullback, and then have Will Mallory at the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So technically 12 personnel, but one of the backs will line up like an H-back or a fullback. So
yeah. All right, guys, coming up on an hour and a half, man. You ready to get out of here, big dog?
You ready to do it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. You got Marcus Clark. The thing is, you got with Marcus Clark, give him a year to develop. Remember, this is a young man played everywhere. So technique-wise on corner, he's a little behind. So give Marcus Clark a year to develop. And I think by next year, he'll be pushing for playing time, and that's going to be a future star.
Yeah, that's a good question. Who will be second on the team with sacks this year? I know who you're going to say.
I'm gonna go on the limb, man. I'm gonna go on that limb. Jalen Phillips will be second on the team to Rousseau.
Roche, for me.
You go with Roche. Hey, that's the smarter, safer pick probably. But I just think Jalen is not special.
You're trying to say I'm trying to be safe now, huh?
Well, it's a smart pick. I mean, it's a safer pick because we've seen Roche get 13 sacks in a year.
That's why
at college. And yeah, it was to 10.
Now he has, no. Larry Hodges as H-back. Out of all the quarterbacks we're recruiting right now for 2021, who do you like the best, and who would you want to commit?
I like Moss. I do.
Jeff Garcia,
like kid from Cali.
Let's get Jeff Garcia back.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. I do like Moss quite a bit. I like Moss quite a bit. I know he's pro style and people, but he's athletic enough, man. He's athletic enough, and I think he's next level anticipatory passing is what I love. He throws guys open really, really well. I'm really big on Moss.
Stunner boy, I'm with you.
Yeah, Dan Kane, Huff's going to be a monster, but I think that's going to be a starting weak side linebacker.
I'm excited. Oh,
HJS, it's tough to do that from the D tackle, and I don't see any of our tackles being second in sacks.
Yeah, it's tough.
Now Nesta might lead the tackles in sacks for sure.
Yeah, I think
that's probably a good bet. Yeah,
maybe it's Harvey. You never know. Hey,
yeah, but I mean, I saw a lot of Warren Sapp in Nesta's high school film. I haven't seen that in college yet. I thought I was going to last season, but he was also banged up. So we'll see. Let's see what Nesta does this third year now.
Yeah. All right, guys. So
actually, he didn't remind you of Sapp. You know who Nesta reminded me of? Was Russell Maryland. That's who Nesta reminded me of. Was Russell Maryland, who was a baller, but I haven't seen that yet. Big shoes. Well, let's see. All right.
Hey, let's go ahead and get out of here, man. Once again, thank you for everybody with us for the rewatch squad. I guess that's a thing now because everybody's saying it. So hey, keeping up with the times. # rewatch squad. If you're watching this on the way back, man, Hit that like button. If you guys haven't already and you're in here, hit that like button. If you guys haven't already, subscribe. Hit that little notifications bell next to the subscribe button. Hit it twice so you can get notified anytime me and the big dog do upload a video, man. Once again, thank you for everybody who joined us tonight. It was an amazing show. But what I'm really excited about is when me and the big dog go live next week, we're going to have some spring football to talk about.
Yes, we are.
So make sure to be here next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So me and Big Dog could go ahead and talk about that. You got anything to add, Big Dog?
No, we're good, guys. Thank you again so much. Orange Green Blood says Cohen sends his love right back at you guys. And all of you, man. All of you. Thank you, 904, for reminding everybody. Yes, please hit that like button on the way out. Just love you guys. Love all of you. And thank you so much always for your support. And man, I look forward to these times that we get to hang out with you guys and chat it up. So God bless all of you and have a great rest of the week. And as always, it's always all about this you. Go Canes. Good night.